Right, extremely alarming is how the Human Rights Office of the United Nations is describing revelations regarding the widespread use of surveillance software to spy on individuals from heads of state to journalists. This, as new evidence uncovered, has revealed that the phone numbers of 14 heads of state, including President Cyril Ramaphosa, French President Emmanuel Macron, and Pakistan's Imran Khan, as well as hundreds of government officials and journalists, may have been hacked using the NSO group's Pegasus spyware. The latest data leak was uncovered by the Pegasus Project, which is a collaboration by more than 80 journalists from 17 media organizations in 10 countries. Let's find out what this all means, and the NSO group's Pegasus spyware and implications of global cyber attack threats and digital surveillance. Let's chat to Andy Mashaile, who is a cyber security advisor. Andy, good to have you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning to my blessed sister and to your wonderful viewers.
So what we know, let me just ask you this. I mean, what we know about Pegasus spyware, it's owned by the Israeli surveillance giant NSO group, and it's been reportedly been used to facilitate human rights violations around the world on a massive scale, with evidence into the leak of 50,000 phone numbers of potential surveillance targets, including heads of state, as we said, activists, journalists. My question to you is, what global harm can the spyware application actually cause?
For, spread across this technology, bought and spread across 45 countries worldwide. 15,000 people being monitored by Morocco. 10,000 people being monitored in France, and 1,000 people being monitored in the UK. This suggests one thing. In fact, 15,000 in Mexico. And one of the people is a student, an activist who was monitored through this evil and satanic spyware. Got killed at a later stage. And there is a wonderful female journalist who was tracked and who recently discovered that the Pegasus software was used after being helped by the Pegasus Software Project. What this means to you and I, Leanne, and the wonderful viewer, is that people can do evil things. They can eavesdrop, they can pick up your messages, they can pick up your conversations on the phone. If they can do this to 14 heads of state, including a ruler who, amongst other things, this gentleman spied on family members using this evil software.
Yeah, and it's very, very worrying, because some of the damning evidence is the result of this Pegasus project. And what we know is it's a groundbreaking collaboration by more than 80 journalists from 17 media organizations in 10 different countries that have been coordinated by Forbidden Stories. And this is a Paris-based media non-profit organization. So Amnesty International also providing technical support. Can you break it down for us on what is this Pegasus spyware and why was it actually first created?
It was created in 2010 by university students with a single and sole purpose of breaking into people's telephone numbers, taking over your devices, embedding their software technology on the computers. The purpose of this software is to illegally and unlawfully break into devices, technical devices that we use for communication. The major excuse and the main reason why it's selling like hotcakes was the fact that they had developed and designed this technology to help law enforcement agencies to deal with criminals, combat crime and prevent crime, and also use it in the fight against terrorism. But we have seen the opposite in one of the wonderful journalists, Jamal Khashoggi, who was killed as a result of having been tracked, traced, and got killed as a result of this Pegasus software. What it basically do, what is the modus operandi of this satanic spyware? What they did initially, they would apply social engineering techniques. Social engineering techniques would be sending you a leaflet, a technical leaflet onto your phone or onto your system that suggests that there is a sale at chain store A or B, and obviously human beings out of interest would click on the link, and it would be downloaded and embedded in your technical, in your gadget, in your mobile gadget or any other device that you use for communication. And this embedded software would then take whatever information, keystrokes when you press on your phone or your computer, and send it back to the client. The client are those who bought this technology from NSO. NSO sells this technology to companies and governments throughout the world. They have gone on to say that they do not sell this technology to individuals, all in the name of trying to limit abuse of this technology. So they would send you that leaflet and you click on the link and it gets embedded. As time went on, they have learned to exploit the applications, like when you are supposed to update your software from 13.5 to 1400 or 14.1. When that message shows up, we normally say, not now, later. Yeah. And they know, having tracked you, they then come in between because your software is not updated, and it becomes easy for them to jailbreak or break from the backdoor and have access into your device.
That is absolutely frightening. But surely, let's just be blunt now, surely, like somebody like President Cyril Ramaphosa it's suspected that his phone has been hacked as well. I mean, surely his devices are controlled by a much more intelligent system than you and I just pressing accept or not now or something along those lines. I mean, surely as a president of a country, there's a lot more security issues to deal with.
It's supposed to be like that, Leanne. I don't want to go into the specific details of the matter of the president, but long story short, those who look after the president were supposed to have known. I have also a lenient approach. I would bash them against the wall, but I would also go to an extent of saying, when you exchange a telephone number with an individual, like it happened with Jeff Bezos and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, you would expect people not to abuse your telephone number, and you would expect people to be honest, especially at the level of presidents, senior executives, senior people like yourselves, and us who are in law enforcement organizations and providing safety and security. What happens with the software, Leanne? When I call you, you don't even have to pick up your phone to can accept. Automatically, when your phone rings, this thing is already into infects, finds opportunity to infect your phone. Like I said, the applications that we have on our phones, which applications like Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp, WeChat, Weibo, all over the world where this software was sold, exploits the gaps in those applications. The applications that you have on your phone, you and my wonderful sister Sakina over there, we need to continuously update the apps that you have on your phone, like your TikToks of the world, update them regularly. But I have been advised when we're doing research that they claim to be a step ahead of the bug fixers of the applications. Like we know Apple says it's the best when it comes to security in the world, but they have disputed that by saying they can break into iPhone security and as well as your Android operating systems.
Well, that is very, very worrying. I mean, I just opened up my apps now, and I've got 45 app updates that I need to do. So I better update them very quickly. Yes. But I need to ask you. I mean, you put off a little bit of an alarm bell in my head when you said that the people that are surrounding President Cyril Ramaphosa, they should be protecting him, and they should know this. But something's not right, because when we look at particularly events that unfolded last week, where there are huge question marks at the moment around the kind of intelligence and security and whether or not the intelligence is good enough here in South Africa. Now, if that unfolded last week and they've admitted that this took them by surprise, now something like this and a hacking of a phone of the president, what is going on? Surely our president should be very, very concerned at his inner circle.
To the best of my knowledge, the president, with all due respect, Leanne, is not a technology expert or a security expert. The people around him and the organization that is tasked or mandated to look at the safety and security of the devices of the president should be continuously doing that.
That's what I mean. It's not the president,
yes.
It's the people around him
yes.
that he needs
yes.
to very much so look at very, very carefully, because this should not have been allowed. I talked to
Correct.
a phone and I'm talking to a country. Let's look at the origins of this, because we're hearing that Rwanda is one of the African countries identified to have alleged links to the NSO group. What should government do to protect their intelligence from this kind of spyware?
They should upload the monitoring verification tool, MVT, from this wonderful Forbidden Stories initiative. It will tell you if there are traces of Pegasus on your phone, or if you have been a target of Pegasus or of some rogue individuals, rogue governments, rogue companies. You will then be able to see whether your phone has been a target. We need to download MVT, the monitoring verification tool from the Forbidden Story site, working hand in glove with Amnesty Security Lab, Amnesty International Security Lab. So long story short, Leanne, we continuously, we're living in a world where technological advancement, when it comes to theft, identity theft, or theft of information, is advancing by the day. So I would advise those who look after the president and those who look after CEOs of top companies, like in this case, Jeff Bezos, who was hacked as a result of this particular spyware. We have seen the dirty linen of the divorce between Jeff Bezos and the wife coming out of nowhere, only to find that there was a video injection that was sent through to Jeff Bezos. So the people who make decisions in the country and who are running the country and managing the country and our organization need to continuously have forensic security checks on their gadgets.
Yeah, I'm going to ask my director to actually roll these live visuals that are happening right now. And this will lead me into my next question too. I mean, this is a raid that's currently taking place where, let me just find out exactly where it's happening. Mtaki, where is this? Where are these visuals coming from?
Sebokeng.
This is in Sebokeng. So this is the police that are now raiding some of the houses in that area to get back all of the goods that were looted in that particular area. So you'll watch this. Now, my question to you, as we watch this, Andy, what are South African intelligence agencies' capabilities at this point? I mean, should they be in possession of such a spyware software? I mean, look at what we witnessed last week with the riots and insurgents. I mean, could something like Pegasus actually assist in monitoring the list of people of interest and to collect intelligence evidence? That's what I, as a South African citizen, hope is happening, because my protection and my fellow South Africans' protections are at stake here.
I would expect the intelligence agencies and law enforcement agencies to be having a device or a software of this nature, particularly for crime prevention and crime combating. Remember, Leanne, I'm the former chairperson of the Gauteng Provincial Community Police Board.
Yeah.
I come from communities. I live in streets like you, and I have seen for the 10 years that I spent in that organization, I have visited people whose houses were were buggled. I have visited scenes where people were killed as a result of information that was shared on cell phones, that was shared on social media. When it comes to the safety and security of our country, whether it's national security or personal security or provincial or local or street community, I would expect law enforcement agencies to have a tool of this nature, and only for the purpose of combating crime, and not tracking our movements for, once again, satanic and rogue intentions.
All right. So, again, a reminder to viewers, these are live visuals that you're seeing of police apprehending some of those that have been found with some of the looted goods as well. So, this is in Sebokeng. Our reporter is there. We'll cross to her in the news and get an update from there. Andy, in 30 seconds, I believe that Pegasus Project revealed that thousands of iPhone users worldwide could potentially be affected. How can we digitally just secure ourselves? I know you said update, but I mean that this is still a very big worry. Is there anything else we can do to know that perhaps we are hacked? Can I look for something on my phone?
Yes, ma'am. Go to Forbidden Stories or Amnesty International Security Lab and download MVT, Monitoring Verification Tool. It will check, it will advise you if your phone is hacked. And you can go to those institutions that provide spyware. There's a number of them who can check on your phone. And I'm sure when you go to iStore, they will then be able to check it for you. I haven't verified this, but I know that Apple can help you because of integrity and product positioning. All
right, we'll do that straight away. Have a look and see what we can do. Andy Mashaile, cyber security advisor, talking to us about the possible Pegasus spyware cybersecurity hack of thousands of phones, including that of our President, Cyril Ramaphosa. That's where we say goodbye to SABC 2 viewers.